Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Okay, so spoiler, trigger, whatever you want to sit there and call it. If you are a Carly, Benson, Spencer, Corentos, whatever you want to call it, if you are a Carly fan, you might want to sit there and shut this video off. For everyone else, let's get started. You know, I don't think Carly has ever vexed me more. Out of the 20 plus something years I've been watching this show, more than today, right? Because she was just, I mean, if there was nerves that she pushed in my body in the wrong way, this woman was just on fire in the worst possible way. So much of the stuff that she was saying came across as hypocritical. And while she thinks that she's doing the right thing, she is just making the situation much worse for Michael. Why? 1 second. Yeah. Making the situation much worse. Because Carly doesn't think. She's just acting on impulse. You know, one of the things she practically said was that Willow was a bad mom or a bad person or whatever. And, you know, when Willow was like, you married Sonny. Look where your son is at right now. This is one of those things where it's like every time you talk, just understand that the mirror is going to be shining right back on you. You know, the whole thing is just out of pocket because at the end of the day, those are her and Michael's kids. Those are not your kids. You have no legal claim on those kids, right? You don't like what she's doing. I get that. But barging in, acting like a goddamn animal, and for anyone who wants to sit there and think that I'm going too far, trust me, there are much worse words that I can sit there and use right now. This is me actually being nice, believe it or not. Called her now. Okay. Threatening to take her children. And almost assaulting this woman. Let's put it this way. It was so bad that Nina had to sit there and call Jason to practically drag this woman out of a house that they done told her more than once to sit there and get the out. But of course, you know, this is Carly that we're dealing with. You know, everything that she was sitting there saying, Drew had to come back line, Willow had to come back line. It was probably the best scene in a sense. But also, Carly was just vexing my nerves, so I guess you could sit there and say it's a double-edged sword. Oh, trust me, tonight I'm gonna read this woman like there is no tomorrow. But we gotta get through the rest of the review. Emma, find out what those sealed records was, which is good because I'm just like I don't have the patience to sit there and wait for weeks and weeks and weeks. Now it's somewhat, you know, this is something what Emma would do. Party was a distraction. She wanted to sit there and find out what's going on. The college was literally sitting there testing animals, right? Things got a little crazy. Everyone's scattering. Security guard got a hold of her. He somehow got hit by a crowbar. And, they sealed it because they didn't want their little dirty secret coming out. Okay. See, I can get behind that to an extent, right? And I understand, what, she did it on purpose. Wasn't malice intention, almost hurting that guy, or worse, right? I understand why she did what she did. You know, and being like it could have been worse. You can be in so much more trouble. That guy would have died, you know. But it's what she said afterwards that bothered me. And I'm paraphrasing here, but I think she says something like, we do whatever we feel is right," and that bothered me. See, that bothered me because I've seen people like her that take the protesting to a point where they're not only just inconveniencing other people, but what they're doing is so bad that you almost kind of forget, or almost kind of want to sit there and say, F the cause, because you people are acting like a bunch of deranged nut jobs. And that type of mindset, I just can't rock with, even under the best of circumstances. I can't rock with that because I've seen how people like her tend to take things and go sideways. And I get the whole, well, she's young and dumb. I don't care. I simply don't care. But on this whole, you know, why she got arrested and record sale, I get it. Mindset is the problem. Now, Alexis does tell Diane that she needs a lawyer, not for her, but for Christina, and tells her the whole story, the cutting the brakes and everything like that. Diane's like, this is bad. At minimum, she could sit there and serve 15 years. Get her committed. No, I can't do that. Okay. What has it been like cleaning up Christina's messes? How's that worked out? Remember the last time you did that? She clearly didn't learn a damn thing because she decided to just go AWOL and cut her brakes. She could have been with her sister. And then what? And Alexis is like, I can't do it, I can't. And finally she's like, I'll do it. I'm like, good, good. Because cleaning up her goddamn messes is what got you in which got you in the situation in the first place. Hell, whatever even happened to the gun? Remember that? Who sent it? Or did they just act like we just totally forgot? Because I didn't forget. Um, Portia wants Brad to sit there and look up 10 or 20 something years, 10 years of medical records from Drew. And also talking to Curtis, and they're sitting there talking about the Drew situation and staying away, having Drew stay away from Kai. And, he does sit there and say if it was anybody else, I wouldn't be having this issue. My whole thing is like, okay, well, what kind of nefarious plans is he going to have for Kai at this point? He's setting him up with the doctor. Curtis is getting so paranoid to the point where it's making it feel like it's Drew that's the one that's not there doing the surgery on Kai. He ain't doing the surgery on Kai. Okay, so calm your dick. Like you're doing a little bit too much. He wants Portia to look into it and some other doctors and the family and stuff like that. Cool. You did that. Do it. Are you going to be flipping the bill? Hmm? Are you going to be sitting there flipping this bill? No? Then shut the up. Like, seriously. Um, Despite Trina's, warnings and misgivings, Kyle wants to do it. He ain't waiting for Portia. He ain't waiting to talk to his family, obviously, or anybody else. He just wants to do it. He says that the fear is holding him back, and he just wants to go, go, go. So he's gonna do it. And Sasha's and they're talking about moving out, and Jason tries to convince her to stay because at the end of the day, even though the quartermains drive her crazy and drives him crazy, they do love each other and they do sit there and fight for each other. And talking about how Danny is doing good there, and even on days where the quartermains drive him crazy, he loves it. You know. So it kind of gives Sasha a different perspective, and she does sit there and say, I always want to see I always wonder what it was like living in a big family. So this whole Miss Independence thing, you don't have to go that route. You're choosing to go that route, but you don't have to. And of course, Jason gets a text. Danny comes in. He, I don't know, messed up on some baking thing, and Sasha wants to help. And Jason has to sit there and get his crazy ass friend um, out of something that could probably land her ass in jail, which she did hit her. Her ass should have went to jail. That would have been that would have been so satisfying. Been so satisfying, but wah wah. Oh, and Jocelyn's assignment is to get close to some sort of professor, Dalton or something like that, and be his lab assistant. Jocelyn's like, how am I supposed to do that? Oh, you're an agent, you'll figure it out. You just make sure that you're going to be his assistant, and that's it. And she says, okay. Let's see. Anyway, I feel like that's about it. That's the general gist of what wound up happening. Now, tonight I'll be sitting there talking about all the shows. You know what they are. The usual 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and all the shows, I mean all five of the soap operas. 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and yeah, I'll see y'all tonight.